in our country. So we are actually at this juncture, that is after MSc what happens next. So basically for a student in India to do PhD there are three ways. That is, first one, like we are aware of CSIR net, then we are aware of GATE, then the third one is the state university. So with the CSIR net and JRF score, it's possible that we get shortlisted for IITs, IIC, CSIR institutes, JNCSR and IACS, that is in Kolkata, and like various NITs is there, ICERs are there, and this is possible if we have a CSIR net or JRF score. And with GATE, there are much more opportunities, I would say. Like we cannot apply for CSIR institutes. Except CSIR institutes, we can apply for IITs, IIC, JNCSR, IACS, everywhere. Along with that, there are job opportunities that is available at BARC, that is the Baba Atomic Research Center, and that is then the next one is BIS, that is Bureau of Indian Standards. So these are the two major categories. The third one is the state universities. State universities have their own entrances, like Kerala University, QSAT, then University of Delhi, University of Mumbai is there, Pondicherry University is there, Central Universities are there, University of Hyderabad is there. So wide range of options at state universities are also available. Like here, if you can see, I have mentioned GATE/Inspire because like this year, this 2021, I find that even if I have got that Inspire fellowship, that is the first level of scholarship, institutes are not willing to take students with that Inspire fellowship. They are asking for the test score of a national level exam like CSIR or GATE. So it will be always safe to clear any one of the above mentioned national level test rather than to just believe in this Inspire fellowship. It is actually an added advantage, but basically we want to have a score in CSIR net or GATE. So here, as I have cleared my, I actually got into these various institutes with my GATE score. So I'm basically talking on the GATE exam patterns, and I'm giving you some tips like that can help you in GATE exam preparations. So like most of us would have attended the GATE exam this 2021, right? Can you just give me yes or no? Okay, I assume that most of us have attended this GATE 2021 exam, like the MSc students and like BSc also. Now they have opened the GATE exam for BSc also. So what happens is that for an MSc student, the new syllabus, that is the 2021 syllabus, is very easy in the sense that it is in the level of a BSc student, so that the questions are actually prepared in that level. And as it is a national level exam, you get institute fellowship at IITs or IAC, everywhere you get. All you need to have is a good score, and every year the exam is conducted in the month of February, and application procedures begin during September and October. So just here I'm showing you a few questions. Actually, I'm going to lure you into this GATE exam because it is going to be one of the easiest papers. See, these questions, like they've asked the splitting value of water, fluoride and cyanide ion. Like we don't have to study so much in order to answer this question. See, they have asked what is an example of a nucleotide. We simply know that RNA, DNA are polynucleotides, and just mark option A. And the 13th question, this is something we learn in our MSc coordination chemistry. There is no application here. We can simply give the answers. Similarly is the case of physical chemistry. See, phase diagram they have asked, and this question in organic, the sulfur violates question, it's actually a previous year question, and this particular portion is taught so much in our classes also. We don't have to learn so much in order to answer this question. We have to simply just think if we get a cyclopropane or whether we get an epoxide. That's all. So as you have seen, that GATE exam is all about getting good score. We want a very low all India rank and a very high GATE score. So here are some tips that you can use in order to ace your preparation. So first one is about the GATE calculator app. Like, are you aware of this GATE calculator app? Can you just tell me yes or no? Can we have it interactive?
No, no, ಕೇಟಿಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಗೇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟರ್.
ಕೇಟಿಲ್ಲ. So I think Play Store la there is an app called Gate Calculator. If you just type it, the first application that comes up, you have to download it and use it regularly. It's like for physical chemistry questions. You will see that when you're writing the gate exam, there is a calculator that is popping off in the screen in the right side, right? And it's a very small calculator. With that calculator, we have got to do this e raised to minus calculation, then what we have, square root, cube roots, all kinds of calculation we have got to do. The thing is, we need to get used to this calculator. It's like giving any exam is all about conditioning our mind, right? So if CSIR exams are approaching, I would suggest you not to use this gate calculator app and try to do the calculations manually, because what we need for CSIR is the practice of doing questions manually. And just before, like 2 months before gate exam, I would recommend you to compulsorily use this app, because we need to have that speed, we need to have that kind of what to say, some symbols are, we are not used to that kind of a calculator. So if you are finding it difficult how to use that calculator, there is actually tutorials in that app itself, or you can always take the help of YouTube in order to know how to use that calculator. And the second thing is attending test series. I would say that attending test series is one of the most demotivating things you can ever have, because the scores, when we see our scores coming up in the screen, we'll get totally shattered. But if you have got a mind to never mind the score, just move forward with just the motive of giving the test, you're going to succeed. 2 months you give so much interest in this test series, like you can succeed. Like, why I'm telling suggesting about test series is that, see, for gate exam there are three types of questions. That is MCQ, that is the multiple choice questions; MSQ, that is the multiple select questions; then NAT, that is the numerical ability type questions. So all these three questions, along with this organic, inorganic, and physical, all these things would be found in a mixed up manner. So we need to have a mindset to have all these questions in this kind of a disoriented like pattern. So only by attending test series you can have that kind of a mindset. You can attend any questions anytime. So that kind of a mindset has to be made before you attend the gate exam. And the third point is never leave organic. Like, there are many people who are very good at organic, like they do very well. I'm not talking about them, but this is for those people who think that organic is tough. We are going to leave it. Like, I would suggest, please don't do it, because like if the paper is of 100 marks, like physical, inorganic, organic, it's about like 33, 33, 33. So you cannot skip a 33% of a question paper, right? And for gate, the questions are actually very simple, and you can actually start doing organic with Claydon. Like, there is a YouTube channel called as Rasayan Academy. Are you aware of that?
No.
No. So there is you can just check the YouTube channel. Like, I'll give the slides. I have given the links in this Claydon series and Caruthers, and Gate Calculator also I have given the link. You can check it there. So Claydon in Rasayan Academy, it is a YouTube channel run by Jagriti Sharma. She has given like the important topics of Claydon. Like, she has taught which all topics are important in Claydon. Like, she starts from the nucleophilic substitution reactions, that is the chapter 6. She goes like 6, 10, 11, 20, 25, like selected topics she chooses, and she gives the important questions. So I think if you do not have time, it will be very useful. You can just watch her series and enrich your knowledge in Claydon. It's like most of the questions are from Claydon or Caruthers. Similarly, for Caruthers, there is a YouTube channel called J Chemistry. I think many of us are aware of that. It's run by Jyotirati, and she has actually covered two chapters, first and the second chapter. And second chapter is very important for any exam, any entrance exam. So if you don't have time, at least go through these lectures, YouTube lectures itself. Just take note of it, just do it again and again. That can bring so much difference in the confidence that you can have in organic. And the last point is about organometallics. It's like these years, what I find is that they are making these inorganic topics a bit more complicated. It's like everyone thinks that inorganic is easier, we can score well. But now the people are actually giving tougher questions, tougher application level questions for organometallics and coordination, the major chunk of inorganic. So I would suggest you to read BD Gupta, not the textbook, but the in-text questions they have. It's like every chapter they have 10 to 15 questions, and answer is also provided there. So it will be very useful if you can go through BD Gupta. PDF is available, and I can share with sir the PDF of the book, and it's there in our library also. And if you ask me where I did my coaching, I did my coaching at J Chemistry. J Chemistry is actually a group of teachers, I should say. It's run by Jyoti, and she's got a bunch of teachers as doubt faculty also. She's from Haryana, and it's like for physical, like three. She's got three courses: physical, inorganic, and organic. I had actually bought all those three, and it was very instrumental in my preparation. It's like she gave so many tricks, small tricks to remember the formulas. It's like it's not only for our gate exam or net exam, but it was very useful for my interview. Even before the interview days, when I go through her notes, I was able to recollect all the topics. It's given in a very beautiful way. We don't get bored when we are doing this online course also. And also after that, we have got a set of notes so that we can revise it whenever we want to. So it's actually an asset. I think if you are looking for any test series and all, I would suggest you to buy the test series by Jyoti or the J Chemistry. And this is about the gate score. It's like many people have got thought that qualifying gate, just by qualifying gate, we can get selected or we can get shortlisted at Indian institutes. But I think that is a wrong thought, because in no institutes they are asking about whether you're qualified gate or not. They are asking about two things: either the gate score or the gate all India rank. So in order to get shortlisted for interview at IITs, IIC and all, we have to have a gate rank of less than 500. I'm talking about the general candidate. So if you are aiming for less than 300, you can somehow get it less than 500, I would say. And for JNCSR, it's like they need a rank of less than 200. So competition is so tight there. And gate score is about 1000. They make some normalizations and some other calculations and all. It is there in our gate official page. You can check how they calculate the gate score. And so this is about gate score and all India rank. Once you're ready with the gate score, your dream of getting a PhD from all these institutes, everything is open. So all you have to do is to apply in all these institutes. So if you're asking me how the admission procedures are, it's like we cannot tell the exact time of when they are calling for the admission. It's like normally we know they take two times in a year, after the gate and this net. Like due to pandemic and all, net exams is getting so much delayed, so we cannot actually tell the exact month or the time. So I would suggest you to just look at these websites just immediately after the gate exam results are published, like IAC and major IITs and ISAs and NITs open their website after 1 month or something. That is what I saw. And similarly, after CSIR net results also, you can check the website of ACSIR. That is where you can apply for all these institutes of NCL Pune, like all CSIR institutes. So that is about the admission procedures. Then coming to like, am I audible? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. The last point is this about BARC application. BARC, like I have mentioned over here about the job perspectives, and if you have a very good or reasonable score for GATE, you can actually apply for BARC as a scientific officer. Or you can attend the BARC exam that is given by this BARC itself. That would also come around 2 months after GATE exam. So moving on to the interview experience. So this is Indian Institute of Science, and admissions are taken 2 times in a year: January session and August session. And here gate score is acceptable. Like I told earlier that in many of the institutes they are not satisfied with an inspire fellowship, but at Indian Institute of Science, if you have that first level of inspire fellowship, they are actually letting us to attend the interview. So the one problem is that if we are going through this inspire mode of entry, even if we are not getting selected at the second round, they are asking us to move out of the campus after 6 months. So it is always advisable to go into this IAC interviews with a GATE or a CSIR score rather than an Inspire, because if some problem occurs, you would have to leave the campus if the second round if you are not selected. So if I'm giving a basic introduction about IAC Bangalore, under chemical sciences, there are 5 departments. That is the organic chemistry OC, IPC is the inorganic and physical chemistry, where I got selected, and MRC is the material research center, and NRC is the NMR research center, and SSCU is the solid state and structural chemistry unit. And for an MSc chemistry graduate, there are opportunities that you can also attend the interviews of the interdisciplinary departments like the CE and NSE, that is the Center for Nanoscience and Engineering. Then BSSE is the Biosystems, no, Biosciences System and Engineering. Like there are a lot of departments like that. So the thing is that there is provision to apply to any 3 of them while you're making the application. So it would be always better to check the previous year's cutoffs while you apply. Then applications are invited 2 times, as I told, in the month of March and in the September October month. And this is a major outlook of how IAC looks like. And for ISSCU, that is the solid state, they need a much more higher rank for GATE. And like IPC and organic chemistry, a lower rank is also okay. So before applying anything, you have to check the previous year scores. Only then you have to give. And moving on to my interview experience, it's like first I gave the organic chemistry interview, and organic chemistry I couldn't score in the first round, so I was out. And IPC, I gave the 2 rounds of interview. My interview lasted for close to 30 minutes. And one point I would like to mention is about my MSc projects. MSc projects plays a very vital role in the interview. It's like they would ask us to start our interview from our MSc projects. When I say MSc projects, like they are asking about how we got that results, or what are the other results or other outcomes that is possible from our projects, how we are able to identify or differentiate both of the outcomes. And like that kinds of questions they are asking. Along with that, they are asking the very basic chemistry behind what our MSc project is. It's like my MSc project was based on physical chemistry, physical organic, the photochemistry. So my questions were normally from fluorescence spectroscopy, vibration spectroscopy. So they began from equilibrium, thermodynamics. It's like the next question would be from the next topic. So we will not know. It's like we are moving to the next topic. So they ask in a very beautiful way. And they would take us into our project topic, finally into the fluorescence spectroscopy. And that is where we have our major chunk of questions. So first round interview was cleared. Then I was called for the second round. Second round was also a very small one. It just lasted for 5 to 10 minutes. Then I got like the offer letter they gave after some days. And more about the interviews that I had attended, close to 10-12 interviews I gave. So my first interview was at IIT Bombay. And as it was my first interview, I could not do well. It's like I would call my IIT Bombay interview as my teacher, because that interview gave me an outlook as to how interviews look, how we have to prepare, how we have to give the answers. It's like that was my first experience. And though I messed up with many concepts there, but somehow I could make up in the next coming interviews. So in these coming slides, I am mentioning about those questions or those topics that they asked me. So if you are going for an interview, it will be advisable that you prepare well in these topics. If you are doing interview, if you are willing to do interview in physical chemistry. So almost all the institutes, they ask me from thermodynamics, spectroscopy, then kinetics, then what, equilibrium they asked. So at IIT Madras, they asked me about this topic called the steady state approximation. It's a hard question. Almost all institutes ask me, like starting from IIT Madras. So like that, A gives B gives C, and we have to rate constants. And there is a condition where steady state approximation happens. Like the graphs are there. There are two different graphs as to if steady state is happening and if it is not happening. Like we study that things in our S3, right? Kinetics at department, right? So that topics, they had asked me so much questions on that. And at ISA Bhopal, they asked me about quantum chemistry, the operators part. uh, like it was a very very easy questions, but they gave me so much time to calculate also. Actually, after the interview I understood it was a very simple question, we can just answer by looking at that question itself. So if you're preparing for quantum chemistry, I think you have to give more focus on operators. It's like small things they would ask, very very small things they would ask, and it's like you can score well in that also. And here at IIT Kanpur, they asked all those above mentioned topics, and they asked me specifically about nanotechnology. It's like that was not my field. I did not study anything about nanotechnology, but they gave me so many clues. They made me understand about nanotechnology. Then they asked me questions. So it was a really nice experience, to know things in the interview, then give the answers. So it's like even if we don't know, they help us so much, and we can give the answers. And similarly, at ISA Pune, they asked me about everything which was electrochemistry based. And electrochemistry, if you're asking me the specific topic, I would say it is about the concentration cells, the electrode electrolyte cell, wherein we have two zinc sulfate solutions, and there is a potential difference that is due to the difference in the concentration of the two solutions, right? That type of question. So it was all based on application level. And I would say that Jyoti's notes were so much enough to answer all those electrochemistry questions and all. And at IIT Delhi and Kharagpur, they asked me more about the fluorescence spectroscopy, the instrumentation part of it, the Jablonski diagram, that fluorescence times lifetime, and things like that. So it's like they had more of a physical chemistry aspect of it, I should say. And like these things we have learned in our S4 photochemistry, that advanced topic that we had. So it was covered there. Um, then about IIT Roorkee, and IIT Roorkee, like same thing, kinetics, quantum, everything they asked. But here they asked a very specific question relating to transition state theory. If you're saying, if you know kinetics, if you're going to give interview in kinetics, be thorough with transition state theory, that graphs and how it can be related to statistical thermodynamics. This one particular topic I found it in Atkins. Like about Atkins, I would tell you in the later slides. And at ISA Berhampur also, they ask more or less the same topics. So what I would like to tell you here is that all the professors at IITs, they are very friendly. They help us to create an environment where we can answer their questions. They help us so much. And somewhere if we are getting stuck up, they would say that, yeah, you have done till here very right, so you just have to move forward, just make this correction, they would say. So it is actually a very friendly atmosphere. We don't have to feel any tension or any fear. What we need is that we have to resonate in their frequency, and resonance occurs, answers flow. That's it. And the last institute that I would like to mention, the interview experience, is about Tata Institute of Fundamental Research at Hyderabad. It's called as TCIS, that is a Center for Interdisciplinary Sciences. So they have got a very different kind of PhD package, I would say. It's very amazing. So about the interview, it lasted for more than 1 hour, 1 hour 40 minutes. It went up to that time, and they started asking me with mathematics. It's like if you remember, if you are a student at Karyavatam, Soni sir used to say this very often regarding the maths and graph. That is very important for our interviews. So maths was given so much priority. It's like they asked me about the graphs of various functions like e raised to minus mod x, e raised to minus x square, things of that sort. And they made me draw graphs, and they made me draw all the three graphs into one particular graph. Then they asked me to take the derivative of it. It went in a very different way. Then like to 20-25 minutes was spent just for mathematics. Only when I did my maths well, they asked me, they started questions from physical chemistry. And as I was only prepared for physical, it's like I told them I'm not ready for inorganic and organic. But they told it's okay, they'll ask from very very basic things. So for inorganic, they started with the d orbital splitting. Like we normally give the d orbital splitting with six different ligands, so they asked me with how you can do with two different ligands in particular, two different directions they are. So it, you don't have to remember any formula, you don't have to remember any equations or something. If you are thorough with like basics, you can actually give the interview. For organic, they started with what, they asked me about like my favorite organic named reaction. So if you start with something, you can just go on with that flow. Whatever be how much ever tough the questions were, the teachers or the professors were so helpful, they would help us steer towards the answer. So I would say that if you are getting a chance to attend an interview at TIFA, kindly don't say no. You have to attend it because it is such an amazing experience at TIFA. The questions are totally different. That would take us to a different level. And if you're asking me how one can prepare for interviews, I would say the first thing is explore YouTube channels. And there are lots and lots of YouTube channels wherein people have given their interview experience at different institute. It's like when I'm saying my interview experience, it is totally different for another person who gave interview just after me. So only if you can have interview experience from various people, you will get a collective view of how that interview procedure goes. So I think it is always good that when you have some free time, just explore those channels. I would suggest you education and motivation. It's run by two people from IAC. So there you can see the IAC interviews. You can see interviews at Jyoti's J chemistry also. So that'll give you a very good idea as to how, like, which all topics you have to prepare. Then the next point is every interview starts with introduction about oneself. So we have to be very careful in this step because like we have to give our MSc BSc marks, then gate score, JRF score, everything we have to give about. We can tell about the INSPE fellowship, everything. But the next question is, they would ask us what are the topics that you have prepared. So we have to be very careful in saying that because they are asking questions only from that. So we have to find three or four topics that we are very comfortable at and say that. And we have to give a very good introduction about our MSc project also. So like from what we say, only then they'll start questions. So where we are stopping, the professor would start from there. So give them that kind of a break or something so that you can talk more about your MSc projects. And you have to be very very thorough with the project because all sorts of questions are from projects only. And you don't have to attempt a question if you're not sure of it, because the professors are not asking, they are not looking at how much we know. They are looking at our research aptitude, they are looking at how we are good in solving problems. So they are giving us scores in a different perspective, like not like in an examination. If you give the right question, if you give the right answer, they are giving 2 marks. No, there is nothing like that. Even if we don't know something, it's okay to say we don't know. We can ask from another topic. You yourself can suggest, like, sir, I'm not well prepared in this, you can go for another topic, you can ask. So professors are friendly, so it's not a problem at all. And for physical chemistry, if you're giving an interview for physical chemistry, read Atkins. So this reading Atkins, I remember my first day at MSc when Sonisa came to our class and told about reading Atkins. He told Atkins is the Bible of a physical chemist. I remember that dialogue very much, very well. And though I did not learn Atkins, or I did not get a break to go through every topic of it, I found that advice very useful during my interview time, because they are framing questions from Atkins. I think because I was able to give the answers after reading Atkins. It's a huge book. We cannot go through all pages, but if possible, we can go through like specific topics of kinetics or spectroscopy or equilibrium thermodynamics. That will do. That is enough, because that covers most of our interview. Is only for 10 to 15 minutes or maximum 20 minutes. So only that much time we will get. And another point is that graphs are super important. Even if the text, we are getting bored of reading the text, it's okay, you can leave, skip all those things and just concentrate on graphs. Graphs are super important because they interchange the x and y coordinates, and they would ask us to put temperature at one time, they ask us to put concentration at one time, so they change things. And they ask us to modify the graphs. Like all interviews were online, so we have a pen and paper with us. We have to change the graph itself. So one graph will be having on top of which we have to draw more and more things. So like they are all playing with graphs. For physical chemistry interview, graphs are a must. And another point about physical chemistry interviews that they are focusing on the physical aspect of the equations, like not on the equations. They don't want us to remember the equations. They are asking about how these equations work. For example, like the Maxwell square is there, right? That d is equal to vdp minus sdt, that formula. So that formula has got so much significance in phase equilibrium, right? So almost everywhere they are asking that question, that is why we are having a negative slope, or why we are having that we are having a negative slope because there is a minus s dt. So if you write an equation, if you know an equation, we need to know the physical significance of it. That is a must. So we need to train ourselves how we can talk about an equation. That training is what is needed for an interview. And for thermodynamics, if Atkins is not working, I would suggest you to read Angel and Reid. And that's a very beautiful book. It is lengthy, but it's very beautiful. The first law of thermodynamics, that is one thing that they are asking so much questions on. And it's very easy to answer also if we know the language of the thermodynamics. So it'll be very good if you can go through this Angel and Reid. PDF is available. And yeah, now this slide, like now most of you would be wondering why I am putting this slide for a gate or a CSIR or PhD aspirant. Why I am putting this? Why I am putting this is because we are all at home because of pandemic, and we have got a lot of what to say, we are interested by nature with the ownership of this single thing, so fleeting and slippery that anyone who will can oust us from possession. Yes, it's time. We have so much of quality time at home that we don't know where we can channelize that into. So I would suggest you to read small books like self-help books like this Atomic Habits or Miracle Morning or Ikigai or something like that, that can give us, that can enable us into what to say, more efficient people. It's like I would like to tell you about one concept that is given in Atomic Habits, that's called as habit stacking. Okay, so it's like during my MSc days, I used to love organic. I used to write so much and learn so much. But when it comes to a national level entrance exam, I think I'm not confident enough to study organic itself, just fearing that I can easily make negatives. And also I had that problem of learning, sitting and learning organic. So I found this technique of habit stacking very useful. Habit stacking is something like if you are good at doing some deed or some habit, and you can stack another thing that you don't like to do, you can couple both of them and do. It's like I used to listen to music and do organic. It's like our brain always wants results quickly, or it needs some kind of a motivation to do things. Like instant happiness is what our brain needs. Like what we for efficiency and all, it's like a long term goal. So you can trick the brain into doing small things of this sort, and you can move forward. So this is a small suggestion from my part. If you are feeling difficult, if you're feeling demotivated and all, it's always nice to read 5 pages of Atomic Habits or Miracle Morning each day, and that gives you so much energy to move forward. If reading is a problem, I would suggest you to listen to TED Talks by all these great authors, James Clear, this Japanese person. Everywhere that is available, so you can get the gist of the book within 10 minutes if you go to YouTube. And finally, I would like to end my presentation with a small motivation video by Dr. K. Shivan, the chairman of ISRO. Please tell me if it is audible.
There is no upper limit on aspirations and expectations, and pretty distractions is the biggest obstacle before success. Focusing on right thing is the key to success. Academics or business, you need not be super intelligent or a genius. You need not be a topper. You need not have the excellent grade. All you need is focus by eliminating distraction and time wasting activities. You have to be pragmatic in your approach and learn from the experience of the older generation. In the end, I will say, shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you land among the stars.
So the reason why I included this particular one, shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. Please tell me if it is audible. Sir, is it audible, sir?
Yes, 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 Kavya, yes.
Ah, okay. So the reason why I included the shoot for the moon, because I remember Jayasri ma'am telling this dialogue to me. So the thing is, we should not limit ourselves to just university or just an institute near our home. We have to think big. It's like it is possible for everyone to explore the world, because only when we see what other institute has to offer that we are improving ourselves. So in that aspect, it is very important that this code has so much importance there. um, so that is why I had included that. And before concluding, I would like to thank all my teachers at Department of Chemistry, Karyavattam, uh, Dr. Aniruddhan sir, Dr. Shibli sir, Soni sir, Sunish sir, Annie miss and Jayasri miss for their support and love and motivation that gave me. Like without their support, it's like it's not possible for me to come here and make this presentation. Give this presentation. So, and a special thanks to Annie ma'am, because without her constant support, like she asked me to apply for IAC and all. It's like I did not ever think of if I can give an interview at IAC. So without her support, it's like nothing was possible. Thank you so much, teacher. And one more thing, for those people who are there at the Department of Chemistry, I would request you to grab every single opportunity that teachers tell. That is, be it the summer internship. It's like after the two lectures earlier, you might have noticed the significance of having a good internship and good project. So I think never ever leave that opportunity. It's like two friends of mine from my batch, like they had got an opportunity to have summer internship at Indian Academy of Sciences. So it is possible to make small differences and grow big. I would say it's like going to these institute itself is a motivation, because looking at the people there, interacting with them, that is a big booster for us. That will change us totally. And for MSc projects, it is possible to do in our department. It's possible to do in other university departments like ISAT or MG University or other national institutes. Like there are so many options available. And Kerala University, like not Kerala University, Kerala government has got a scheme called Aspire. Like five of my batch mates had, like we five of us has had got that Aspire fellowship in order to do MSc project at other institutes. So now, all these are very good opportunity. Please do not leave any one of them. And special mention about the class presentation, or the thing we have every Wednesday, like when I was studying. Make use of that, because that is one big thing that will help so much in our development as a chemist. Because I remember all of my classmates doing so well after that particular presentation. So if you are getting an opportunity, do not leave them. And university department at like at Karyotam has got so many things that can help a student to reach great heights.